20 years ago, 30 years ago, it was good to put a barbecue in the middle of the yard with a concrete slab made out of bricks. That was normal, right? But what do you do with that area? And that's okay when it's yours, but when you go to sell it, what do you do with that area? Do you rip the slab up? Do you put a fire pit on it? Do you make it a garden? Like, what do you do?
G'day guys, welcome to the MTDC Lounge. This is a podcast that breaks down everything you need to know about designing and building your ultimate home and what to expect. Whether you're a DIY renovator, a budding developer, or everything in between, we'll dive into the building journey, touching on what to expect, what's next, and how to go about it. We'll hear from a heap of experienced consultants and trades about all aspects. So let's get stuck in. Welcome to the lounge. Good evening, guys, and welcome to another episode of the MTDC Lounge. You're here with Matt, and tonight I've got Jackson from Magnus All Property.
G'day, mate. How you going?
Good, mate. Good. Thanks for joining us tonight, mate.
Mate, thanks for having me.
Oh, can't wait to get on tonight because I've got so many questions. Everything to do with landscaping and all design stuff.
Fire 'em away.
Awesome. Well, mate, let's start off with who you are and where you're from and what do you do.
Sweet, mate. My name's Jackson. I have a company called Magnus All Property Services. Started as a little lawn mowing company just to fill in some time, and now it's turned into something of a property management, I guess, and maintenance company. So doing everything from lawns to trees to basic problem solving. Sort of things that other people sort of go, oh, I don't know if we can do. Yeah. We don't have that attitude. We just do it.
You do an awesome job. Like I've had you out on my own properties a few times. It's easy to send a lot of my guys, particularly the guys that we work with at MT Design, out to come and see you for the final touches on their blocks. And you always do a great job. Your team out there doing an amazing job. So I'm really, really grateful that you're out here tonight. So
appreciate that, man.
Mate, one of the things that I really want to push across to everyone is that you're not just a landscaping service. You pretty much do anything and everything to do with yards. And I think one of the most impressive things is you do have a couple of degrees under your belt. You have a master's under your belt, and you make your own. I want to call it fertilizer, but it's not fertilizer.
Call it fertilizer. That's what it is. Just so people know that it is like fertilizer. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So what is Magnus completely sit? Where's your sweet spot as a business?
So as I said earlier, it just started as a little lawn mowing company, just servicing clients as we did. But we identified early there was something wrong. There was something wrong with not only the presentability of trades as well as work. We you drive down the street and you see the guy with the fluoro shirt, the smoke hanging out of his mouth and shorts on the side of the road, and the property's worth $1 million. Like, what are you doing? So we identified early on that there needs to be a certain caliber to this, and we always push that point of that quality of service and presentability, and it's now just grown to the point of we have a 1-800 number, and it's called 1-800 We Do It, because it's turned into we actually do it if it's outside, and that's our strong point. If I can't do it, I'll make a call and I'll make sure it happens. I'll get a trade to your house if need be. So where we sit, we started, as I said, a small one-man outfit. Now we have multiple teams, multiple vans, and we're sort of sitting more sort of corporate-y, problem solving. It's really hard to identify lawn or outside space because people's idea of that now is so much more. It's
important to identify that landscaping is just not landscaping. It's just not lawn. There's softscapes, there's plant care, there's weed and grass and lawn, and then there's obviously the next step up as well, where there's the hardscapes, which is like the retaining walls, the block walls, and all the bits and pieces that come with even pool installation and things like that.
Man, massive. That's the thing with landscaping. It's unlike sort of anything else. I guess with our industry, it's not heavily regulated. So Joe Blow can start tomorrow, and his work is it could be as good as mine, if not better. It really could be. No government authority sort of brings in a little bit of, non-compliant type standards. You know what I mean? So, but there's so many aspects of it. There truly is. And a lot of people don't know where to start. So if they have a problem outside, they'll ring someone for the lawn, but that lawn guy doesn't do trees. And then, so now you got to ring for a tree guy, and then that tree doesn't come to that area. And then, there's a retaining wall. Who does what? It's a bit of a minefield, especially for new people that just have a block of land or just built.
Yeah.
Like yourself, mate. Your site was a bomb.
Yeah, it was.
It was, because that's how new sites are, right? Yeah. So it's just you've got ideas and knowledge and industry contacts, but the average Joe Blow, where does he go? Does he bring a random company? Where does he go?
Yeah.
And, a lot of people we find go to Bunnings.
Yep. Do it themselves. Yeah. Give it a crack.
Yeah, give it a crack. And I'm all for that. But then, it's like anything in life. Where do you get your advice from?
Yeah.
It should be from someone that knows what they're talking about.
Is your grass grub damage, or is your plants not eating right, and too much sun, not enough sun? It's the spectrum of lawn care is just so broad, and it's incredibly tricky. I don't even pretend to know what I know.
And I don't want to, because I'm learning something all the time. But it's pretty hard to be a specialist at everything, right?
Yeah.
And there's too many people out there in our industry that have I could do it. Don't know what I'm doing. I've got ChatGPT and YouTube. Now I can do it.
Yeah.
So we try to stay in our lane in that sense, but I'm just fortunate enough to be surrounded by people like yourself and trades that I can pick up a phone and say, "Hey, mate, I need a hand," and you'll give me a hand. Like you'll give me advice and steer me in the right way. So it is about your network as well.
Well, like on that, your aid to myself and our team as well has been absolutely, invaluable, because your knowledge in plants and things when we're doing our landscaping plans. And one of the designs that we did only recently for one of the schools just around Newcastle, like we got to sit down and really have a good chat about it. I think we were in the office for about 2 hours.
Yeah, it's cool.
Having a good yarn about how we're going to do this design and how we're going to lay it out, which is incredible. And I think that's part of what the podcast is again about. We're just showing that having that team around each other to try and build the best quality product for the clients is always going to be winning hands down, compared to that guy who just wants to strap on that high vis vest and the smoke in his gob and try and win.
Well, it's about anything in life, right? Like it's your team, and you got to have a good team. And a lot of people just go for what's cheapest. We've all been down that road. Like the cheapest is not poor man buys twice, right?
Yeah, that's exactly.
And I've always been of that mantra, and I see that so much, so much daily, literally daily.
Yeah.
So
and it's rife through it's rife through the industry. Whether it's landscaping, whether it's designing, like from day one to day end, everyone's always chasing that bottom line. Everyone's always, racing to the bottom, I guess, and checking that number to make sure that they get the cheapest price. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, it's not always the cheapest price. No,
it's not always the cheapest price at all. So it might look good in the short term, but it's always been that way, right? And I was just saying before off air that I tell clients I'm not going to be the cheapest, but I'm going to be the guy that works the hardest. Do you know what I mean? And listen to you for what you want to do. And that's a big thing. A lot of people talk, but they don't listen.
And it's like lighting as well. A garden or your outside area can make or break a house. Like we can do an amazing design, but if they've got a horrible or just a second thought yard, it's just going to destroy everything. And I guess that's where your expertise and I guess the trees and all the plants and things come into play. That you can really just brighten up or really, I guess, put a border around what it could be or potentially is a beautiful home.
Well, I just read a study recently that a good, well-manicured lawn, I'm not talking about a bowling green, but a weed-free lawn can add up to $10,000 to your sale price.
That's incredible.
Well, I'm not talking gardens either. Now let's wind it back further and talk to gardens and things like this. Like everyone's home is an investment. If you're not going to keep it forever, you're going to flip it one day, right? So why not add a bit of extra time to it and do those design things? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you got to have some idea. I always tell my clients go on Pinterest. They're like, "Oh, you're not going to design it?" No, because I want you to design it. It's your home. So, but it's not just it's not just the inside or what the house looks like. We buy with our eyes. We eat with our eyes, you know, and especially people in 5 years' time that have that house that it's just they're happy with, but now kids have come along, they've got to sell. If they'd had that mindset from day one, that yard would be 5 years mature and their price would be a higher price, right? So that's a big one we find.
Yeah.
So the nicer the outside generally is a reflection of the inside.
Yeah. Well, that's a good segue. What when someone comes to you and says, "Hey, Jacko, like I want a nice Australian yard that's," and I get it a lot too, but there's low maintenance, but will always look good.
Yeah.
Like, what's your answer to them? How would you answer that, and what would you suggest?
Yeah. Okay. So if it was natives,
Yep.
that's probably where you should go for low maintenance and stuff like that. And then you get the equation of I don't really like natives.
Yeah. So what are natives, I guess, for the guys at home?
Well, indigenous to Australia.
Yeah.
Species that are indigenous to Australia and furthermore indigenous to the area.
Yeah.
We're hybridizing now. A lot of plant species are being hybridized and crossbred and so forth. And that's not just to make money, but that's to keep them more prostatey, more smaller, easier to look after. So that's happening more and more now in nurseries and so forth. But I guess because I'd need to ascertain what they call low maintenance. You know, what I call low maintenance and what you call low maintenance are two different things. So you do obviously often get the husband who loves to just mow the lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just loves it. Yeah. Don't touch his lawn. So it's not going to matter to have a bit more lawn space. But then in the prepping of that, if he's going to want to have a Mickey Mouse lawn, we need to spend a bit of time on, you know, making edges properly. And so he can run his mower on it. Natives would be low maintenance, but then, you know, the problem we're having with the environment now, like yesterday was 40 degree today, you know, today's 25. So our species are changing as well. So I guess you'd have to go natives.
Yep.
And like people just think gumtree when they think natives or a waratah or a callistemon. But if you actually go and have a look, you'd be very surprised what's out there.
There's some really great. So there's some trees that are natives, and obviously they're the gums and all your bits and pieces, and your wattles and your bits and pieces. But there's also the shrubs, and there's also the ground covers,
grasses,
and
everything, man. Yeah. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
So that would be where I'd go. And then, you know, some people like low maintenance but want a hedge.
Yeah.
You know, we get that. We get that daily. I just want it low maintenance, but I'd like hedges all around the property. They're not low maintenance.
No, they never are. Yeah.
You find that those people who say they want low maintenance, but they're quite happy to get someone to pay into it.
Yeah.
So it's more about knowing your clientele, what they really, really want. That's what I find. And then, you know, life changes too, right? There was a young couple, no children. Now she's having twins.
Yeah, needs some yard space.
Needs some yard space, needs some time.
Yeah.
So it's a real hard one to juggle. But I always say 5 years to someone. Where do you see this in 5 years? And if they say, I'm not going to be here, well, then I sort of say, I'm probably my own Achilles heel. I'll say, well, why are we investing so much time in it then?
Yeah.
I shoot myself out of it, but I'd rather be honest than try and sell them a $100,000 makeover, which they're just going to flip in 5 years. Like,
and it's not going to make them $100,000, but like
it's not.
It's you're going to appreciate the look of it, but if you're not going to sit there and actually enjoy it for a few years while you get to watch the yard grow, it's never going to be the same, is it? So.
No, and if then you're planning to sell.
Yeah.
So if your 5 year plan is to sell, well, let's plan for that now, because people do. Just because you don't want the low maintenance natives in, that's a sell point. That's a low maintenance garden, right?
Yeah.
So it's about knowing your clientele and kind of making sure they know what they want. You know, and that's those conversations that have got to be had.
Yeah. What's if someone says cost effective, what's a good way to kind of when you're designing a yard or when you get hit up, what's a good way to kind of get people to understand what a cost effective yard looks like? And I know that's a broad question, so let me kind of pinpoint that a little bit more. If they want a little bit of privacy in their front yard or in the backyard, and they want to have a bit of high cover, like maybe some, not so much canopy trees, but we're talking a little bit more, you know, broader trees, and we kind of start layering it down. How would you kind of suggest?
First, I'd pretty much say, what's the budget?
Yeah,
because there's no use me designing putting in advanced species. If you've seen the price of advanced species, you can pay $10,000.
Yeah.
We can't go that way. So to ascertain a budget, now a lot of people see that as a bit of a sales strategy, but I see that as being true and honest for what you can actually get for what you do.
Yeah.
I've often met clients at my nursery. I go to a wholesale nursery and I'll walk them around with it. I've got a very good rapport with them. And it doesn't take long for people to go, oh, hang on a minute. We're at $300 already.
Yeah, so the advanced trees, though, we'll just quickly wind back. The advanced trees are the aged. They're a little bit older. They're in a bit bigger tubs. They don't have to wait so long to grow.
Because we can make a garden right now.
Yeah.
That looks like it's been there for 5 years.
Exactly. But
if you've got the money, we can do it. But a lot of people go into Bunnings and go, oh, that thing's $3. That's $4. That's $6. Yeah, but it'll also take 20 years to get to where you want it to go.
See, like a little avocado sprout. And be like, I'm going to take one of those.
Man, that happens all the time. I'm telling you, right?
Yeah.
Even down to mulch, people go, oh, you can get a bag for $6. Yeah, but you want 10 cubic meters.
Yeah.
Buy it in bags, it's thousands.
Yeah, heaps.
Yeah, so it's about that awareness too, because not everyone knows what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm not too mechanical minded. So if you tell me how much the price of a gearbox is, I'm
yes, sir.
Sure. You know what I mean? So that's the thing we come across a lot, to be honest with you. And that's just my way around it, like jumping the hurdle, so to speak.
Yeah.
And just being honest. Just if it's not in my wheelhouse either, man, I'll come to you, for instance, for design things, because there's some things that are above me. I'll be the first one to say that. But it's about knowing the client.
Yeah.
You've got to really get in the client's head and not just talk to the husband.
Yeah.
You can't.
I find the wives or the partners usually have more of the say. They're like, no, I want it to look like this. And then the husband usually like, yes, love.
And be realistic. Don't just say, yeah. Just really say, no, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
And I do have a can-do attitude. I don't believe in the word can't.
Yeah.
So I do believe anything's possible, including outside and plants. But it's all, it's all money.
It's all cost.
It's all cost. If you've got the money, we can make it happen.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. And it sounds kind of salesman-y, but it's the truth of the matter.
Well, if you've got a clay block and your plants need sand to grow in,
what do you do?
Exactly.
But you can do that.
Yeah.
Right? You can excavate everything and put artificial soil in, and you can do it. And that's the thing with plants and outdoors. That's why I like it. 'Cause I'm sure builders have the same thing, but a builder's a building, right? Like you can't change too much. Like you can build a structure and I guess you can change the finishings and the color and things like that. But gardens, it's, man, you got to make things work. So it's about knowing what you can do, tweaking and stuff like that as well. That's every industry, I suppose. But I find it a challenge every day.
It is a beautiful industry. Like once upon a time, I used to do landscaping once upon a time, but it's hard. It's hard, Yakka. It's a lot of work, and I think if it's done right, if it's done properly, it's amazing. It's fantastic. It's great to look at.
Yeah, no, it is, and it is, and it's not only good for the environment; it's good for the kids. Like I don't have to say it. The first thing I look at is a garden when I pull up, and it's not because I'm a gardener, because I'm not a gardener. But that's the first thing I look at, especially if we're going to go buy a home or a new investment property, or if I'm coming to your place to zhuzh it up for pre-sale or something. I start at the gutter and look at the grass, then look at the gardens, and then start looking at the house. You know what I mean? Like that's, and I think more and more people, thanks to the internet, are doing that too.
Yeah.
When I speak to a lot of new home buyers and things like that, new home builders and things like that, they're a lot more educated now. They want
to see the manicured lawns. They want to see the clean cut trees. They want to see that.
They do, mate. They really do. And we're finding that a lot now, even with people that are selling their first home. They're quite. And years ago, it was like, what do you think we should do? Now they already have an idea, and I like that. That shows that they've got a vested interest in it as well, and they're giving me their ideas subconsciously without me probing them. So. Yeah.
G'day guys, just quickly, if you're finding this podcast info relevant to you, then I'd like to quickly talk to you about what we do at MT Design Collective. You hear us talk all the time about the importance of solid detailed home design practices so that you're not left with extra fees, delays or unexpected costs in building your ultimate home. Here at MTDC, we design homes and provide plans that builders love to build and councils love to approve. If you're looking at a renovation, a new build or alteration, then we'd love to help you work out the next steps forward. Book a free no obligation chat with us and we'll come out to your site, as it's the only way to truly get authentic, no bullshit advice. Link is in the show notes. Okay, back to the show. Because plant colours come into play, plant colours, leaf colours, thickness of leaves, all the whole thing. So the spectrum is huge. It's
and
massive.
Do a lot of contrasting with houses too, right? Like you can put a species in that'll just mimic the colour of the house, just by a certain shade.
Yeah.
That's those little eye for details. I know you've got that eye for detail. A lot of people do though, thanks to the awareness of this sort of stuff. So years ago it wasn't like that. She'll be right, just put it in.
Yeah.
You'll be right. It'll be nice.
Just sell it, and then if it dies in a couple of weeks, then it's not my problem anymore. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I appreciate you guys, because when we sold our place, I think I saw photos only the other day. I'm mates with the guys across the road from it. Yeah, because there was that rare lemon tree.
Yeah,
they've still got it there.
That's
so
good.
I kept wanting to go and quickly pop over.
Yeah, I was just thinking about lemons.
Yeah, but they've still got the lemon tree, and you pinpointed that as soon as you walked onto the site, because those lemons were footballs, but you helped me care for that lemon tree, plus put in the hedges and things like that. That by the time we went to go and sell the block, because I think it was like almost a 3-week turnaround, and you went, I can do it. Give me a hot minute, and then you popped around, slapped in a couple of those hedges, and just in that 3-week turnaround, it turned what was a dull place, because it had no front yard, but it turned it into something amazing, and it just
had
changed
no life. I guess it was hard. I guess it wasn't softened, and I
What's
just
a brick?
thought, yeah, and the grass wasn't that bad.
No,
like it was, wasn't a bad.
Bit of a mix match, actually, by memory.
It was.
Had a bit of buffalo, and then I had a bit of QQ, I think.
Yeah, but once it was cut,
yeah,
it looked really nice. It just had to be cut a couple of times the right way, right? And that's a thing in itself as well. There's cutting the grass and there's cutting the grass, right?
Yeah.
So, but that ended up coming up pretty nice. I seen the marketing photos for it, and my partner showed me, and I was like, really?
Same place?
And it was the same place, and it was the same place.
Yeah,
it just goes to show, and we're pretty open with you as well. Like you said that you're selling the house. Like I say to anyone who's selling their home, my theory when I sell a house is that for every dollar spent to help the sale, I want at least $1.50 back.
Yep.
So that's already my mindset straight away personally. Now, if you're my client, I'm going to have the same mindset with you. So that's where it's about that. Yeah. And I reckon we did. I forget what you spent. I vaguely remember what we did.
Yeah.
But
I can't remember now.
You would have got your spend back.
I reckon. I think the invoice was probably about $5,000, $5,500. I think it was, which was fantastic as the price. Like I think in terms of what you guys did for us and the value you put on the house at the sale point was just amazing. Like it got to when you set up a house ready to sell after you've lived in it for so long, and you're like, you've gone through all the hard effort of making the place look great, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't want to sell it now.
Yeah, fully. It happens all the time.
Yeah. And it was just one of those things that after the gardens went in, it was like, damn, you know what? I've kind of fallen in love with the place again. So
I remember the left-hand side of your driveway. It was just a real ugly little spot.
Yeah.
I said, we'll just mulch it. And it did. When it finished, it looked like it had a purpose, because everyone has those, especially if you're going a 20-year-old house. They've always got these little spots that just don't make sense.
Yeah.
20 years ago, 30 years ago, it was good to put a barbecue in the middle of the yard with a concrete slab made out of bricks. That was normal, right? But what do you do with that area? And that's okay when it's yours, but when you go to sell it, what do you do with that area? Do you rip the slab up? Do you put a fire pit on it? Do you make it a garden? Like, what do you do? And having those answers on tap is a good thing to have.
Nobody uses the brick barbies anymore. And
it's a fire ban. You can't even use a barbecue right now.
So
that's the thing we find, just that problem solving, trying to get your money spent. And we've got to make money too. We all get that. But if you have that mindset with your clients, that I didn't know you very well then. And that's led into every property you have now.
Yeah, beautiful relationship.
Yeah. Like, you call me up, I go to your house. Like it's no, you don't ask me for a price. We just get it done. Like it's just the way.
Ask anyone else, mate. That's it.
Yeah, and that's built through trust. Yeah. So
and I trust you, and because you're so open and you're so available to always share the information when it comes to the lawn care. Because I'm not I'm not a green person. Like I
You
know how to look after it, and I know what I can do, but I'd rather not. I'd rather not do it,
and that's cool.
Yeah. So it's and I know, like, as soon as we're gonna go shoot for a pool soon, because it's coming to summer.
Yeah.
I've got young kids; they want to get the pools. I'm going to get you in to come and do around the pools. I'm going to get you to do the yards, and we've got to pay attention to those kind of plants. Having the surrounding plants around the pool yards and around the areas of, I guess, most traffic is always going to be important. In particular when you're doing the hardscaping across the landscaping.
Yeah. And then to be all over pool compliance. Do you know how much pool compliance work I do, mate? Because someone at Bunnings didn't know that putting that species in that spot is now breaking pool compliance and things like that. People don't know about this. So that's why it's good to have not only a professional, but someone that actually knows their stuff.
Can't climb in or out. And then if you've got the plants on the inside, no good.
You got to have the right species, you know what I mean? Like people freak out when we probably do 3 a week, pool compliances that have failed. And we literally come in and solve the problem. Like, we're not fencers, but if the fence has got to go up, we make the fence go up. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's where I'll call another trade in if I can't do it myself. So, but pool's a very important one, and people just go, yeah, I like it to look pretty, but there's a whole legality side to it as well. That you really need to be thinking of. And it's easy just to put trees and plants and shrubs in anywhere, but I can tell you 2 species that are deemed climbable. I won't go into the species, but 2 species that are very, very similar in most gardens. One's deemed as climbable, one deemed it isn't. I can't say how either of them are. So that's just a legality thing, but you need to have that knowledge.
And 100%, and then we're moving into the same places of, like, retaining walls. Like, when you're putting in the retaining walls, you've got to make sure that you're planting appropriately behind the retaining walls and everything that's going into that construction, and making sure that everything that's being supported behind it. You don't want to have this harsh face of a retaining wall, depending on how you do it, like whichever way you do it. But making sure that you've got the falling plants over the retaining walls, making sure that you've got nice, like, shrubs around it. I mean, it's definitely your wheelhouse, but I think it's super important.
It is super important because of the invasive, like people say, invasive species of trees. And if you don't know what that is, there's some trees deemed as invasive, but all trees and plants are invasive, right? What are the roots trying to do? They're just trying to get food and water. They'll go to wherever it's need be. So you need to be very selectful and mindful of retaining walls and things like that. And then we don't have the qualification to do that. And I actually thought about getting it, but then it's a whole another can of worms. And then I think we're so busy anyway. We don't have time for a retaining wall, man, to be honest with you. We literally don't have time for a retaining wall. But I'll call someone in that is licensed and make sure they're licensed, and someone that I've worked with in the past as well, because that can be a can of worms, as well. Yeah,
engineering, everything comes into play, particularly, and the boundary setbacks and things like that. It's pretty crazy.
Hard landscaping is hard. It is hard. There's so much you've got to know. So I'm lucky to do the soft landscaping. I do the finishing touches. And to me, that's the most rewarding, right?
Do you do the hedges as well? Like,
we do the edging and that as well. Work with the client.
Nice one.
Try and find what they like, what they don't like, and a lot of people give the right advice on it too, right? Like, just because you like it doesn't mean it's practical. So,
do you do the timber edges, or do you like?
Either.
Would you prefer would you prefer the timber edges, or would you rather the steel ones?
I'd rather the steel.
Do a bit of a natural form.
Long-term jeopardy. For you, the client. It's far better for mowing. It looks good. It does look good. You don't have to get that rusted finish. You can get a metal finish, and on a new build, a new modern build, that chrome finish or that steel finish looks tidy. I think it looks very tidy.
Are you a natural form kind of guy, or are you straight edges only?
Nah, I like bends. I like that. I used to be straight. Have to be straight. But now I kind of like the arcs and things like that. Garden tells a story then, right? The property tells a bit of a story. And especially on the house as well. If the house has those natural curves, we want to follow them too, right? Like if it's a square box type, I don't know what you call them, sort of houses.
Square,
They're square.
yeah.
They're your design problems, man, not
Yeah.
mine. But then you wouldn't go round garden edging, right? But when you get a federation type style home, they are a bit more sweeping and so forth. So you've got there's a bit that goes into it as well. You don't just throw something in the ground just to retain a garden bed.
Yeah.
Like,
Mulch or pebble?
oh, depends. Depends. I do like pebble. But it's got to be in the right place.
Yeah.
And a lot of people put pebble in and goes everywhere. And if they're not gluing it in, because there's landscape lock, you can lock stuff in.
Yeah.
But there's some nice mulches out there too. There really is. We're very fortunate in this country. And I don't mean red or black painted mulch.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some really nice mulch out there, like cypress mulch is, hinders termites.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's more expensive per cubic metre, but you can almost say that it's 90. They can't put a 100% guarantee on it, but it's been proven that termites do not like cypress mulch.
There you go.
So paying a little bit extra,
They're saving your house.
fair trade-off, right? So, but they're those little things that not everyone knows as well, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's just keeping up to date of new sciences and things like that.
Do you have a favorite grass?
Zoysia grass.
Oh, you're gonna have to explain that one.
Yeah, no, it just looks cool.
Yeah.
It feels cool. But I'm a buffalo guy. I like the buffalo. And everyone goes, it's old. But you know what's robust? It's strong.
Yeah.
Like it makes me, it just takes me back to a kid.
It's super soft too. Like
It can be.
yeah.
And it can be hard though as well, right? So that's what takes me back as a kid.
Yeah.
So as long as it's green, I'm happy.
Well, I didn't actually know that there was a soft and a hard buffalo grass until I watched one of your videos the other day about aerating the soil.
Fully.
And I didn't actually know about that. So what's your like you punch the holes through the grass and then you like pull
Aeration.
it up. Yeah.
So basically, it's a very common practice. A lot of people don't think they need it, or want it for that matter until you see what happens with it. But roots love air, right?
Well,
yeah, they like water, they like food, and they like air. You know what I mean, and being able to breathe. So by aerating the lawn, does that. Like all your bowling greens, your football fields, they all do it. It's part of a lawn maintenance program that you should be doing every spring anyway, aerating. And when I say should be, if you want a mad lawn, it's probably what you should be doing. But if you're okay with just the lawn you got, it helps with drainage. We can manipulate the lawn a lot with it too. It's a good time to fertilise after you aerate because you're putting the fertiliser down where it needs to be.
So, well, without going too far down this rabbit hole, like what are the signs of like damaged lawn?
Well, if it doesn't look good. No. But that's a bit of a trick as well, right? Because I go to a lot of people and they go to my lawn looks green, it's beautiful. But you ever walk on a lawn that's real spongy?
Yeah,
like real thick and spongy.
Well, I thought that's a healthy grass.
Yeah, that's not a healthy grass.
Yeah, right. See, again, not green.
Yeah. But people go, it's green.
Yeah.
Until you cut it.
Yeah.
Oh, we cut it up really high. It's always green.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be cutting it up really high. You should be cutting it low. Oh, now it's yellow.
Yeah.
But your grass should be. That's not okay.
I thought you just cut it too low, and I thought that you were just showing the root.
No, too low's brown.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Well.
Yeah, if you're cutting your grass and it's yellow,
yeah,
there's something generally wrong. You're either leaving it too long to cut, or it's not healthy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. It's crazy because I have this conversation 10 times a week.
Yeah,
and people go, "I love it green." It is green until you cut it.
So how would you fix it? Like if you've got the sponge, like how would you fix it?
Yeah, well, that's a thing called thatch.
Yeah,
thatch is a mixture of old leaves of grass. So basically, a lot of people mow with a catcher.
Yeah.
When do they know when to empty the catcher?
When it's full.
How do they know when it's full?
when you got little scraps.
Bingo.
Right.
That's when everyone does. That's too far gone.
Yeah, right.
That's way too far. That grass that you never go back and pick up, you just sort of kick it in, turns into thatch.
Guilty, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no.
Every time.
No. I still do it on my own lawn sometimes, right? But yeah, that forms a layer on top of the soil, which you can't see because grass grows over it. So you think, everything's sweet. And we're taught as well that you should mulch your grass. It's kind of true. It's kind of not true. You shouldn't mulch it all the time.
Yeah.
You should pick it up.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, but that thatch over 5 years of doing that, where is it all?
Yeah.
It hasn't always broken down.
So it just sits underneath it. So what happens there? You have to rip it all up, I suppose.
Well, you need a machine to rip it up. Yeah. Basically, it's called a scarifier.
Yeah.
And it basically pulls out the underlayer of thatch that you can't see with your eye. And we do that with people. I've made videos and everything on it, and people just freak out.
Yeah.
They just can't believe what they're seeing. So your lawn is a big investment. If you think about it, it's a massive investment. Just because you bought a house and it has a lawn doesn't mean it's not an investment.
Because you get the burn marks and things like that too, and like I know, like I keep referring back to my place. Like I know every time I looked after that lawn, like I'd come back and always just before winter, I think it was like there'd be a patch that just would die in the ditch, and like there'd be like a few really green bits.
Yep.
And then there would just be which I thought was like the non-buffalo areas. I thought they were just like that's just the wheat grass, and I'd just wait until summer that comes back again, and I'd hope that every year that I was there that the buffalo would slowly take over. It never did, but
no, it's a slow process when it comes to that because it's competing too, right? So then it could be so many things. It can be different. There might have been a tree there once and someone's turfed it before you got there. So now the pH of the soil and the amount of food that's in the soil is diminished. It could have a clay spot, could be a big rock underneath. I've found that in lawns before as well. Like they've turfed and we've found a big rock under there. And the grass always grew there, but it never really as good as everywhere else. So what's going on underneath, which you can't see, can often be the big cause.
And that's where thatching would come through as well.
Yeah.
I saw that you had a bit of a situation with a pool the other day, actually.
Really?
So I think Erica was showing me that you had a big pool job that you had to deal with, and all the gardens and the grasses were like growing inside the pool.
Oh yeah.
And it was it was
that was
bit
crazy.
Of fun.
Yeah, we see some crazy things, man. You wouldn't believe some of the things we see, and people don't really care too much until they ask you, how much is it to returf?
What is it?
It can be expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive. We've got a job coming up. It's 400, it'd be about 550 squares, but we're having to dig up what's there already, lay new something else. It's on a hill. There's all sorts of things. I don't know, 16 grand, 17 grand. That's not a lot of money to someone, but it is a lot of money for grass, I think. Yeah. Like,
what's a roll worth, you reckon? Like if we're talking run of the mills,
go to Bunnings on the weekend, $15 a roll.
Yeah,
it's a square meter, but not by circumference.
Yeah,
so it won't be a meter by meter. It'll probably be a meter and a half long, and maybe depending on the cut. You know what I mean? On the farm, it is a meter
long.
Yeah, the footprint's a meter.
Yeah.
But it's not a metre square.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people come under the...
Yeah, right.
Because laying a bit of grass, it's a metre by metre.
Yeah.
And that's...
You'd be there for a while.
It's a pain. It is a pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, people should really think about their turf a bit more. And again, they do when it's time to sell.
So yeah, it's almost too late when they're going to sell
Fully,
because there's so much stuff to go into the site prep for lawn, I suppose, isn't there? So you there's all the substrates and things like that you need to have down to have a healthy lawn.
It's all in the prep.
Yeah.
So we've got one on the weekend. We have to turf cut out.
Yeah.
So we literally have to go to someone's house. Beautiful home, absolutely beautiful. I just painted his lawn green, the front of his lawn green actually, because he could never get it green.
So you painted the grass green
with a pigmentation fertilizer.
Yeah, right.
So it stays green. It's fertilizing.
Yeah.
But it gives it that instant green effect straight away.
That's cool.
We do that for houses that are for sale a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the weekend we'll have to go in and turf cut 250 squares of grass. So we need to cut it out 65 mil deep. Get rid of that. Bring in an underlay, make sure it's level, or if not, following the natural curvature of the land. We don't want to go against water tables and things like that, drainage and things. Make sure that's rolled and completely flat and perfect before we even lay the turf.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. Now I'm hiring a machine to cut out the turf that you didn't look after in the first place. To get rid of it. Tip fees aren't cheap, I promise you that. And then we're going to have to relay again. And then it's all one thing to lay the turf, but who's going to look after it?
Yeah.
it's middle of summer, right? Well, it's not quite, but close to.
It's
You
hot
have to
enough.
water. Yeah, it's hot enough.
Yeah.
You'd have to water that maybe once, twice a day.
Yeah. So I think by memory, it's like you have to water for like almost 12 hours after it's laid, isn't
Fully.
it? Yeah.
You have to do a lot of work to it.
Stinking.
So you've paid me to do the lawn.
Yeah.
Now you're paying for the water.
Yeah.
Should you have looked after it in the first place? Probably should.
Just keeping an eye on the lawn, I think. Just calling guys like you to come out and have a bit of stint.
It's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
So where was I the other day? I actually went to someone's house and I just gave him some advice. I'd done some work for him before and he rang me just for some advice and tried to pay me. And I was there for 15 minutes, just like this, having a chat.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't take money off him. But, just gave him a few tips, told him what he needs to do. Man, that's customer retention, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. And he knows next time he has a hard time, he's just going to give you a call, right? So, you just need to, just a bit of care, a bit of care. And I think at the end of the day, care, bit of customer, like a bit of client focus.
Yeah.
And you're always gonna have happy people, happy lawns, happy houses.
Always.
Yeah.
Always, man.
When people are going through a build, reno or a new build, when would you suggest that they even come out to see you? When do they start even considering what they're going to do with their yard?
I'm a little bit different. I like to do it. I prefer to do it early on because I like to work with the trades that they've got. It's really good to know how long a trade's going to be there, what he's actually doing, especially if it's hard landscape. Let's refer it back to a retaining wall, right? It's really good to talk to the trade. Most tradesmen are pretty open. Okay, it depends on how you address it too, right? So, but knowing what he's doing really helps my plan of attack too. Because if I'm on site while he's doing something and he undercovers something, if we don't have that communication, he just throws it in his tipper and drives off. But me knowing that was there, rocks, for instance, big rocks, a big clay pocket, that helps me big time. Right down to knowing when the painter's coming, because he'll have his trestles up and everywhere. He'll need some, places to park and to put his equipment. It sounds so frivolous, but I say earlier on, so all your trades know where all the other trades are. Yep. And yes, there is finishing touches, but like your house, for instance, you've still got trades going in a little bit here and there. I'm still not finishing what I'm doing there. So earlier on, to make sure all your trades that are applicable are talking, I find it a very, very strong front to go in with, whether you're rebuilding first landscape or what. It's your property.
It's so funny, hey, like every episode, I'm not even joking, every episode that we've done, everyone says, get us involved as early as we can. We want communication. Everybody wants to talk to each other, but nobody's talking. Like it's like these are the things in the industry, I think, at the moment that it's like so important to identify, and it's just not happening.
Well, there are people that don't want to talk to other trades too, right? There are. Like I've talked to builders that won't get me in because he can lay turf. Yeah. Why are you laying turf? Is this censored? Why the fuck are you laying turf? You're a builder. What are you hiding? You know what I mean? So everyone should stay in their own lane, but as early as possible is better. And I very rarely have a trade that won't talk openly to me. Once I just tell him why I'm there, and looking at I'm not critiquing his job. It's not my wheelhouse, right? So I don't really care how efficient he is, but you want that communication. It helps so much. It honestly helps so much.
We need a bit of cohesiveness in the industry. We need to be working together. We need to be openly communicating about the job at hand, and we need to be able to finalise the job in an appropriate time frame and in an appropriate manner. And I think without the communication that everybody talks about and everybody wants, and it's not happening. We're getting clients who are unfortunately falling short. What would your advice be to be clearer in your industry in terms of landscaping, and when you would get, I guess, what you'd tell the client to watch out for, and how would you fix it?
That's a good one.
Like how would you fix it? Like what's your advice to the client?
Like you could get a project manager, right? But then where does that leave you, right? Is he with the builder or is he outside? So what a lot of our clients do, our reoccurring clients now, get us to project manage outside. Now, when I say project manage, I don't go see what the hard landscape is doing. I'm not overseeing what he's doing, but I've got a clear idea of what he's doing now, and I refer that back to, I sort of keep the communication going. So I try and be the problem solver before a problem arises. So a lot of our regular clients, our high-end clients, just sort of say to me, if something's broken, fix it. Don't tell me. Just pay for it and put it on my invoice. But one big thing would be is to make sure that they want to communicate. Because just because you got the contract doesn't mean you want to do a good job or coexist with other trades. So I would find if someone's not being forward, alarm bells. Yeah. Alarm bells.
What would you wish that your clients knew before coming to see you? What would you wish they knew, or what would you rather them ask, or what would you rather them research before they come to you?
Not just about licenses, but previous works. Honestly, I find that a big one.
Yeah.
Just because you've got great ideas doesn't mean you can execute them. So having that bit of knowledge, I find a lot of people they won't ask me the question. I'll go talk to them. We'll have a chat, and I'll say, "Oh, when's your painter finished?" I don't know. He said last week. I said, "Yeah." He said last week. Now I've got to lay turf. So a lot of people don't want to have those hard conversations, but it's your investment we're talking about.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to have the hard conversation. And if you don't, instill someone as the outdoor project manager. We get that a lot.
Yeah.
We honestly get that a lot. We just take care of everything out there. We'll get in a big WhatsApp group chat and we know where everyone stands.
Yeah.
And monitor that chat. You need to know where you're at. Like, you're paying for this service. Like, a lot of people will say anything to get the contract, and they get the contract and then, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
So, I find that a big thing for people.
Yeah. And when someone's finished their build, and let's say they've called you in, you've got the job, you're going out and seeing them, what would you like them to know, or what would you like them to have chosen or have in mind before they come and speak to you?
At least about some idea of what they want. Because a lot of people go, well, and that's okay too, but you got to have some idea. You know, watch a few shows, go onto Pinterest again. You want some idea, because you don't want me to lead you to it all. Because
your flavour is going to be different to their flavour.
Correct.
Would you recommend them going to like the Better Homes and Gardens or anything like that? Do you like even the garden home show is fantastic down in Melbourne?
Agreed.
But I mean, but they're obviously like top end. But like, I mean, like, is there any shows, or because I know for Pinterest for us, like I know for house designs and Pinterest and Google and all that, I always have nice homes.
Yep.
But I guess with gardening, it's more, in my opinion,
stay out of Bunnings, dude. Stay out of Bunnings, because the tree that says doesn't grow. The tree that says doesn't grow any more than a metre, the species grows to 15 metres, but they've just hybridised it to hypothetically not grow in that sort of conditions. But, man, there's 4 seasons in one day in Australia. Yeah. When it used to be 4 seasons distinctively. Stay out of Bunnings and things like that, you know what I mean? There are some good nurseries out there that are qualified, horticulturalists and stuff like that. They do have an idea. But you've just got to be careful. I think I said that before. You've got to be careful where you get your information from. You really, really do. A bit of background work doesn't hurt. But those type of trade shows and things where you are talking to industry qualified professionals, that's huge. That is massive. Yeah.
So I guess the take homes for everybody is, get to know your lawn and your garden and what you want from it. How you see your plants and your trees. Make sure you get, the qualified, knowledgeable people behind you to make sure you're getting the right job done. And I guess communicate, open communication, and finding out your team and making sure that everyone is on the same page.
Above all. Yeah. Above all. Where was I just recently? We had to put the final touches. That house just sold off market, got a record. But I went to go do some work, and some trades left some, the painters had left their ladders Well, I couldn't do my job. So I'll get back on the group chat. Oh, yeah, sorry, I didn't put that in. So to the owner, they don't really know what's going on. But if they're not controlling it or have someone in project managing, I hate the term project manager because you just think of some pompous person that's
with a clipboard.
You do.
Yeah.
But that's not, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that just happened to me recently. I could not believe it. 20 minutes out of my day. And I got there and on the turf I just laid here some ladders. I'm like, are you fucking normal? Like they don't care though, right? Because they're there for painting. Yeah. But once I told the owner, she was mortified. This one, absolutely mortified. And I said, well, do you want me to put up signs? She goes, you shouldn't have to put up signs. I was like, oh, I got it.
You know what just freshly laid turf looks like. You don't have to be blind for it. So,
exactly. But that's that communication thing and having trades that are able to talk to each other and like talking to each other.
Or give a shit.
That's probably the biggest first one of all, man. And you got to give a shit.
Yeah, like having trades that care about their job and their quality of work is imperative every time, all the time.
It cheapest is not always best.
No.
And best is not always cheap, right? So that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's huge, actually, now I think about it. I just sort of went when you said that, I was like, oh, fuck, yeah. You are right, that's massive.
Just too often now, there's just some people just don't care and it just shows.
Yeah, well, a lot of people will say, we've seen it with trades, they'll just say anything to get the trade, just to get the job. Mm. You know, I don't know how many times a week I'll talk someone out of some jobs. Mm. I really will, because I'm not going to just sell you something because I can make them earn off it. It's not the right thing.
No.
Don't worry about it. Save your money. Yeah. You know, it builds better retention for me that way anyway. But a lot of people aren't like that, mate.
No.
You know that in your industry.
Yeah, all the way through, actually.
Promise the world.
Watch it all the way from day one right to the end.
Builders.
Yeah, every day.
I don't even want to poke the bear. Yeah. But like, you know, anything to get the job, but won't execute.
Yeah.
Customers always got to come first. As soon as you lose that mantra, you shouldn't be in business.
No. Oh, well, mate, thanks very much for coming out tonight. I really appreciate everything everything that you do for me and everything that you do for MT Design. And mate, I'd love to have it on you tonight. And let's catch up again.
Thanks for having me, mate. Yeah, let's talk some smack about something else next time.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll find something.
We'll work it out for sure.
I can talk bad about heaps of things, so we're right. Legend, man.
All right, cheers, mate.
Thanks, bro. See ya.
Thanks for listening to this week's ep of The Lounge. To make sure you don't miss out on the next episode, hit subscribe. We'd love to get the message out to more homeowners like you. Make sure you leave a rating and a review, and we'll see you on the next ep.